Hello and welcome to part two of our Hobby Boss Delta Force fast action vehicle build. Last time we got our engine in and our bottom part of our platform put together, and there's a look at that. You can kind of get a good look at the engine now. I think, as far as I can tell, most of all this is exposed, so there is some photo etch that has to go in here, but we'll get to that later. And we're basically going to pick up where we left off. So we're into step 4, and I'm just going to clip off these parts again. We'll get them arranged so we can see where they go, and then we'll fit them together so we can see how this kit is going together. But so far, excellent. Really, all I've had to do is there's been a bit of very minor pin and hole issues where you had to enlarge a pin a bit. I had the luxury of having my drill bits, but any really sharp knife blade will get you there. Just turn them out a bit. But other than that, everything is going together like a charm. Beautiful kit, fits like a glove. So let's get started on part 2, and let's go, because I really want to push through. So I think today, with editing, you'll be with me for this, but I think today with just I'm working in the night. It's Sunday, and I want to wrap this up for Monday. So I think basically the plan is to get at least to in around here. So we got 10 steps to cover. I don't know if we'll do the photo etch tonight, but we'll see. Anyways, let's get started on step 4 and work our way through these next 6 or 7 steps. Okay, so we've got our main components laid out here. There's some small parts that we have. We have these little kind of braces here, these little arms. We have this little connection here, this little piece. So, you want to be cognizant of these little pieces. And I just thought I'd kind of take time to stop here at this part, because this has been about probably the most, trickiest part of this build so far is these parts here. This cage. Now, when it's injected, there's all these little pieces here, and you just want to kind of be really careful when you come into them. And I've just been sort of following that curve of the tube to sort of just get up along the side. That way I don't want to have to do too much scraping and sanding. If you have bigger nippers, you might want to just sort of work your way back. But yeah, I'm just riding that edge, and then you just have to be cognizant that of these ones is this in here to be removed, right here in this little A-frame section right here. So that's an easy one to miss, and you just kind of want to watch, right, that you don't by accident cut anything out, because you don't want to cut this off by accident, because that stays, this little triangle. You can see it right here. So just kind of be aware while you're trimming these off, how where they're at. Now this would be easier to come, but I want to come from this side so I can see that I'm right at that panel. I don't want to nip too much and then leave a mark that I can't put back. So I would say, yeah, so far really good, easy so far. But now we're into a part with some small parts. So yeah, I think just here, just kind of take it slow and just make sure you're nipping off what you don't want and keeping what you want in this section here, because one wrong nip and yeah, I mean, you might be able to fix it, but I mean, you wouldn't want to ruin your kit. So just a small tip there when you're building the fast attack vehicle. Hopefully you if you are assembling this kit, let me know in the comments what you think of it. If you have assembled this kit in the past, what you thought of it, and or if you're thinking of building it in the future. Because yeah, it's a really cool cool subject, and I'm loving this build so far. It's really going smooth. So I'm just going to kind of clip out this last little piece here that's in the middle of this A-frame, and I think that sets us up for some minor cleanup and assembly, so we'll do that. We shall start that right now. A right tricky bit of kit there for us guys that are super pros. So just getting these fitted together here, this little support arm and then these drive shafts here going into the boots. These were tricky to get fiddled in. The one thing I'm finding with this kit is there's a lot of pin and hole. A lot of them are like a semicircle with a flat edge and that fit inside the hole, and I'm finding I'm having to drill a lot of them out just because the fit and the part is so delicate. With the fit being tight, you don't want to break anything, so I did have to fiddle around a bit. Oh, I see I've opened up a little bit here on this one. I think we'll be okay right there on that joint. I can see I've opened up a bit. I don't know if I can close that still or not. I think I've kind of set. We'll see how that sets up. So we've got this bar, we've got our little strut in here, and we've got this sidewall in. So now we're just going to put this, I think, filter or whatever it is that goes on here, sticks right in here onto there. So I just thought I'd point that out because it was a little bit tricky do getting those parts in. So take care when you're doing this, if you do. So let's get a little dab of glue on here, and I'm alternating in between. I'm finding the acetone works good for small parts and stuff, and then I'm using the Tamiya actually when it really counts. It seems to have a little bit more aggressive grab when you want it to really grab your part. Let's just get this rotated so the tab's in the hole. Oh, get in there, you. Oh. Roll around. Oh, I had you closer before. There are a lot of little bits with this kit, so it's a little fiddly as opposed to maybe some other stuff. But armor and stuff is inherently like that. You're going to get the fiddly bits. Here we go. Boink! Here. Oh, he's on upside down, I think. Go figure. Wait a minute, is he? Yeah, he is. Of course, Joel. Perfect fit. Upside down. Right side up, not so much. Let's get him slid in there. There we go. There we go. Okay, there. Okay. Let's make sure he's straight. And now we got to put these little control arms, but I wanted this to set in first. We'll set those back over top. I think they set in, where do they go? They go from the top of that key, so that's you get looking at this thing upside down. Where the heck is that part? It goes in. So that's that piece. That's that. That's that. Right there. So that goes in there. That's where those went. So those went in like that. Is that right? Those went in like that. Oh, that's where those go, right there. Right there. Okay, let's get those in right there, right now. Get a little glue in the hole. I think this one is for that side, is it? Yep. Let's just get you lined up there. Yep, that's where it goes. Is it? Yeah. Where's that? Where that goes? Uh-oh. I see what we got. That goes there. There we go. Okay. Correction. See, good thing I didn't put some glue there. Let's dab that. Did I get this one on there? I don't think did I glue that. If I did, let's loosen it up. Okay, there we go. Let's get you in there. There we go. I should have realized that. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, now that exposes that pin at the top. Okay, so that goes over top, does it? So if that's the top now, so that's where that goes. So it goes in like that. I guess that would put that one on that side. Oh crap. I guess it goes in from the inside. Alright, so I gotta get in there. Oh, look at you. Oh, let's see. Let's get you in there. Open you up again. Let's open up that hole. Okay, there we go. Now I can see it. Alright, okay, so that one's gonna go in there. Okay, let me get a little glue in here. We definitely made this harder than it needed to be, I suppose. Oh, but that's what happens. Sometimes gotta work backwards to go forwards. So let's get this part. Grab by its edge. And you need to get in there. You're gonna go. It's the wrong one. That one. So we need you. Like that. Like that. Like that. I just need you to sit down in there. There we go. Okay, now if we can just get you up in there, ever so gently, get you to sit near that hole. Oh, I think I can coax you in there. Come on now. Get my tweezers underneath that corner. Oh, it's a tight fit, isn't it? Use a knife instead. There we go. Oh, 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 you little bug. Oh, 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 look, there we go. There we go. There we go. That's where I need you. I just need you to push in. Here we go. Oh, push in a bit. There. Okay, here we go. Gotcha. Okay, it's in there. Now we'll do this one before we put that sidewall on. Oop, that's a little bit much. Let's go a little dab in there. Clear you out of it. There we go. Go. Let's see if we can get you to slide in there. Can we? That's what I mean. Getting some of these parts and some of these holes has been a real challenge. See, I don't really win there. Let's try drilling you out some more. Still, eh? Yeah, I tell you. So you don't want to break it off, so you don't want to force it in. Oh, let's go in. Okay. We had a bit of, I think. Maybe get it in as deep as the other one. No. I don't want to squeeze any more. Oh. Alright, let's just set those there and hope for the best, shall we? Okay, well, we got them in, those little doodads. Okay, that's those. Now, I guess we'll set this wall into place. We got our filter in. And we're going to pop, I guess, right in like the other one did. So it shows us putting it in from that end. That's going to go slide in here. Just try to tuck it right in there. There's our okay. There's our buggy. Right. So I do believe that in the beginning our photo etch goes onto the outside, so we're fine. Okay, so let's get a little dab underneath. Right there for those guys. We'll use some of the Tamiya on that. We'll want to make sure we get a good bond. There. Okay. Now we have our steering console here assembly, but we want to do decals. We want to get this painted before we do decals. So we're going to cut these pieces out. I think we'll assemble this, but I think we'll install it later. Just want to see how, if this hood part is going to interfere with that at all. Where do we end up going here? So we have these tabs. They're going to fit right in there. Okay, so we can see where that's going to go down in. And we got the tabs are right there. So it looks like that. It's going to fit right over like that. Okay, so I guess we're going to probably want to paint all this and leave this separate. So this is going to go on after, because we're going to want to get in here and detail paint everything. Okay, so pre-assembly, we've got this is going to come off. All right, and then okay, so it looks like let's get into step 9. Step 9. Let's see, has I guess this stuff going on. So we got 2 of each, and then we have some photo etch this back rear wing thing, which is this part here. Okay, so looks like, yeah, all right, we've got our air filters, not our extra hubs, we have our air filters here. Okay, so it looks like we can kind of carry on with all those mechanical pieces. All right, so let's, yeah, I guess push on. I'd like to get to, I think I'd like to get to at least in and around here today, so that I can get ready to get some paint going. But we're moving along, we're getting there. She's definitely taking shape now. You can see the general layout of her. We've got our seats and that. Now this is going to pop in and out fairly easily. It has those tabs, so we'll be able to take that off because we're going to want to get down in here, down inside there, right, for that coat of paint. But yeah, definitely coming together now. Okay, so I'm glad I corrected my mistake here. So I had this sitting up higher, so those pins were covered that held those things. So yeah, I had this part of the frame stuck in those holes right there. So this was down there. So once I brought it up, that got me to be able to get those in. So yeah, that was here. All right, well, we got that sorted, hopefully. Anyways, she's starting to look good though. Nice, cool looking little buggy. Sweet. All right, well, I'm gonna cut out these pieces, I guess. We'll do the same. Let's leave this for now. Let's get right into this. Let's get all this stuff sorted. We'll get these parts for our front end put together. We'll see what we're going to do with our lenses, whether we're going to put them in or whether and mask them, or whether we'll leave them out. We can do either, depending on what works best. So let's clip away. All right, that gets us to step 9. Little fiddly, this kit. So for me, I think the most fiddliest kit that I've built so far was the Mini Art 1/35th scale motorcycle. Very challenging with a lot of little teeny, even smaller than this little bits. And it was a struggle. This one not as difficult as that was, but still fiddly. So not in a bad way, just in a fiddly way. So you have to be prepared to take your time. Now up here, I really kind of struggled with which way these shocks were going. These shock towers here kind of thing, these shocks and this A-arm frame. So there's a little tab and a little notch, and you can get them in there, but they wiggle around a bit, so just kind of take your time. I fiddled around quite a bit getting this together, but I think we're okay. I think we were ready to set up the next section. I think this will set up for our wheels okay, because now that we're done this part in the front, now we can push on with this back part. It gets a little bit simpler, I think now. I think this part here that we just went through, as far as the build goes for this model, I think this whole section that we went through just with this back part with the motor and the suspension, here I'll go side cam soon because you really get a look. So I think this whole section here that involves these lights, the horn, these shocks, your rear drives, and these support like the frame parts here and the engine. Once you get past, say steps 3 to 9, these 2 pages right here, once you get past there, it starts to open up a bit. So it gets a bit intense, right there in the middle. But once, I think now we're out of the woods. We've got all of this framework, really, most of it. There's a piece to go here and a piece to go there, but we've got that all pieced together. We've got our intricate little light assemblies and stuff. We got them all glued together. We've got this hood, which is dry fit. We don't want to glue it in yet because I want to be able to do the painting in there. And so I think what we'll do is we'll put together the dash separate. We'll paint it and we'll decal it and we'll detail it right up so we like the way that it looks. And then we'll glue it into place after we've painted the rest of the model. And yeah, so I think for tomorrow, I wanted to get a little bit further today, but I did spend some time over on the base, and we can take a look at that for a minute before we go for today's episode. But I think, yeah, no problem. I'm going to keep going tonight, so I'm ahead of the game for tomorrow. And I think now that I'm kind of on a roll and through this, I think I'm going to piece together these parts tonight and get myself right out of the assembly. So I'm going to get right out of here. We'll get the last of the styrene put together, which isn't much. I've only got this bit here, the photo etch here, and the photo etch from the beginning. Just, there's very few parts left for me to sort out here left. So I guess that puts us in good shape for Tuesday's episode. It's Monday. I'm going to make a hot cocoa and watch some Monday Night Football. But before I go and leave you until the next episode with our FSA. Oh, and we've got our figure too here. We have our figure who is looking like he's going to fit. Almost forgot there. So he's looking pretty good. His legs look good in there. He looks like he's going to be in to scale. It'll just be a matter of sorting out whether or not this the steering column here, if that's going to work for us with the steering wheel it's provided with the figure. But I'm sure we can sort it out no matter what it is. Now we're shooting on all, we're firing on all cylinders. So yeah, let's just take a look over on the other side here. And so here's our base so far, and you can see I'll run some B-roll footage that I shot today while I was doing it. But basically the plan is to get this sculpted out along in here. I'm going to follow this line. I've got these appliques, I guess, of shaved foam that I capped off the face. And now what I can do is I can apply these to the side of this wall and basically set us up for our truck, our gas, our big giant helicopter. Our dude's up here on the top hiding in some trees and some rocks. So we're going to sculpt this back with the hot wire cutter. We'll get this out tomorrow, and we'll start shaving this all away, this extra foam, and start working it into here so that we can make our hole for the underground, the deep underground bunker base. We'll have that opening right here into this, and then that way we'll have in underneath here is a cavity, so we can have the opening open with some doors. We can get some lights going on in here that are going to shine out onto our display. We'll have our trees and stuff eventually over, hanging this cliff face, and then we can have our guys peering out up here with the fast action vehicle and the quad runner hiding up here in the shrubs and the trees behind rocks and that. And they can be staring down here at our Russian dudes, up to no goodery, I guess, or whatever. They're doing their Russian thing, and these guys are doing their American thing, and they're, spying on each other, or spying on them. So, anyways, that's Operation Bear Trap, and it's coming along. It's going to be pretty good. Now, we're going to cut this down. It's not going to be this wide. I think overall, we ended up being, I think it was 15.5 inches for this baby. Yeah, we're at right at 15.5 inches, so it will fit in my largest display. We're just going to trim this back and break off the gator board, and I'll trim back the foam. But basically, we're just sort of gluing in and mocking in our pieces to get the layout, and it's looking pretty good. Now, I don't know if I'm going to use that garage 135 scale garage thing and put the helicopter on top of it and then fill that up with more stuff, or whether we're just going to put him on the ground for now and then see what happens. I'm going to trim this rock down, so we should have enough room to clear the prop, because the prop is going to be fairly big on this helicopter. So that's kind of why I'm going with this larger display. But I think once we kind of get this sculpted, it'll be a lot of fun. I think most of the work is obviously, I think, going to be in the helicopter, the Hind, and obviously this base is going to take a lot of work. But it's fun work, and we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. And I hope you come along to watch us and join in with us doing it, because it's going to be different. We're going to be using a lot of different aspects, like grasses, rocks, stones, gravels, all kinds of stuff. So I haven't started pulling any of that stuff out. Basically, I'm just going to concentrate on getting the fast action vehicle. I want to get it done out really nice, get the camo on it, get the figure in it, get the quad runner started here, and then we're just going to work our way through this whole process. I'm figuring, now that I'm getting a good hard look at it, I think this whole project will probably maybe even take us into the 6 to 8 weeks, but we'll see. If it takes us into the new year, what better way to start the new year than in the middle of an awesome project? So I can't see a downside either way. So anyways, quick episode. I'm going to keep them around the 30 to 40 minutes, keep short, day by day. We're just going to chronicle everything we do. We'll be back tomorrow. It'll be Tuesday, November 16th tomorrow? 17th tomorrow? It's 17th. Yeah, it'll be the 18th tomorrow, so it's 17th today. So we'll see you tomorrow with the rest probably of the FAV. We'll get into paint anyways. I don't think we'll get into weathering in detail, but we'll see. We'll definitely get out of the build and into the paint for tomorrow. And live, love, laugh. Plan something for the future. If you haven't built something, maybe give it a shot and see if you like it. If not, try something else. We'll see you next time. Bye!